What was the best thing the quiet kid has said or done in class? 1. Once it was right before winter break and just as the bell was about to ring to end class, our teacher cut in with, "Oh, I forgot, you have homework over the break." Everyone groaned, and even the quiet kid in the corner let out, "And what an asshole." Well, teacher heard it and said, "What did you say?" To the kid. To his credit, he put his head up and loudly said, "What? An ass-hole." We all stated cracking up and the teacher's face turned so red. I caught up with the kid after the break and his excuse was the teacher already heard it anyway, I wasn't going to get away with it, so since he asked I answered. 2. I was best friends with the quiet kid in high school. He spoke to me almost exclusively, and quietly enough that others rarely noticed. One day, the loud girl noticed. "Oh my god, he talks? I haven't heard you talk since 6th grade. Without looking at her, he leans in real close and whispers something to me. He says he only talks to interesting people. I'll always remember this, partly for the ego boost he gave me, but also because of her reaction. Screw you. I hope I don't hear you for another 4 years. 3. My friend decided he hated the quiet kid. He wasn't super quiet, but he didn't have any friends. One day my friend kept throwing those tiny Chips Ahoy cookies at the back of the quiet kid's head who was sitting by himself at lunch. Quiet kid picked up one of the cookies, stood over my sitting friend, and smashed the poop out of that cookie on my friend's head. It was amazing. 4. 6th grade science class. Teacher was out of the room and we were effing around with hot plates. While messing around, one of my classmates burns his hand pretty bad on a hot plate and has to go to the nurse. Right after he leaves the room, quiet kid enters and casually says, "Smells like burnt flesh in here," and just sits down like it was nothing. Everyone turned and just stared at him. 5. There was a girl who went the entirety of middle school never speaking a word unless absolutely necessary. One day the class was being rowdy while the teacher was out of the room and in the raspiest, deepest voice ever yelled, "Shut up." We all shut up. 6. There was a fly in the room. He threw his pencil straight up and skewered the fly and the pencil got stuck in the ceiling. It was those really weak plaster tile things, but it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I wish I could go back in time and record it. 7. Beat the poop out of the kid that kept slapping at him. I think it was around the 7th time he said, "Dude, please stop," before the blood came. 8. The quiet kid in my class was sort of bullied by this kid who had a cleft chin. One day the cleft chin guy insulted the quiet kid, and the quiet kid came back with the insult, "Is your mouth so filthy because someone effed you in the chin?" It was 6th grade and the whole table busted out laughing. It was a dirty joke, so check, and it was aimed at a bully, double check. He became known as the chin effed kid, which was hilarious to us 6th graders. 9. My friend was the quiet kid. In high school drafting class, back when drafting was done on paper, there was another kid harassing him from across the room. He took his T-square, about 2 feet long, made of wood, sharp edges, and whipped it across the room, hitting his harasser square on the side of the head. The resulting head wound required several stitches. 10. We had a kid at our high school who refused to speak for the entirety of our high school career, even if a teacher called on him. The day we graduated he spoke for the first time. His reasoning for his 4 years of silence was just because I could.